Okay, grab your tea because this is wild. So, Oprah Winfrey, yes, the Oprah, just threw some serious shade at Meghan Markle, and did it so smoothly that half the world missed it at first. But those who caught it, oh, they're having a field day right now. Here's what went down. Oprah was on Kelly Ripa's podcast, Let's Talk Off Camera, when she got asked this super random question. Would she want baby chicks as a gift? Weird, right? But Oprah being Oprah, she flipped it into a moment. She laughed and said something like, I'd run them straight over to the Sussex sex, totally twisting Sussex into this ridiculous tongue twister. Like, what even was that? But don't be fooled. It was no innocent joke. It was petty, cheeky, a straight-up roast masked as a giggle. The audience laughed, Oprah smiled like it was nothing, and Kelly just moved right along. But online, oh, it blew up. Meghan's fans were furious. The anti-Meghan camp, popping virtual champagne. Now here's why this moment is a big deal. It's not just a mispronounced title, it's Oprah. The same Oprah who sat down with Meghan and Harry during that bombshell interview. Remember that? The one that practically shook the royal foundation to its core? Oprah gave Meghan the stage to tell her side of the story. And now she's making Meghan's title sound like a joke? Ouch. That's betrayal on a whole other level. And Meghan, she's always been super sensitive about her name, her image, the whole Sussex branding she's been pushing. Like, just a few months ago, she literally corrected Mindy Kaling on her Netflix show and said, "It's Meghan Sussex now, don't you know?" Sorry, what? First of all, Meghan Sussex isn't a thing. It's not a name. It's definitely not on any legal documents. Her actual name is Rachel Meghan Markle. Yep, Rachel, not even Meghan, and certainly not Sussex. But she's been trying to make Meghan Sussex happen like it's a designer label. Honestly, it's giving desperate energy, like she's trying way too hard to rebrand herself using a title from an institution she literally ran from. And now that Oprah's out here joking about it, Meghan is reportedly fuming. Sources close to her say she feels completely blindsided. Imagine the woman who handed you your biggest public platform suddenly making you the punchline. That's gotta sting, but it doesn't stop there. Oh no, this isn't the first time Oprah's been acting distant. There was this super awkward moment last year at a bookshop event in Montecito. Meghan was there doing her usual spotlight thing, cameras, speeches, all that, and then Oprah walked in late. No hug, no wave, didn't even acknowledge Meghan. Just walked right in, sat down, and acted like she didn't even see her. And yes, people definitely noticed, including Meghan. Since then, crickets. Oprah hasn't featured her on her network, not a single shout out on social, not even a little repost of one of Meghan's fancy gift baskets. You know the ones: organic tea, handmade soap, monogram nonsense, probably wrapped in tissue and tied with a silk ribbon. Total Meghan vibes. But Oprah? Nope, not a word. That silence? Louder than any joke. So now people are asking, what changed? Because Oprah doesn't make moves by accident. If she's slowly pulling away, trust. It's intentional. And Hollywood is watching. Oprah plays chess, not checkers. When she starts cutting ties, it's clean and quiet. No dramatic statements, no messy fallouts, just subtle digs. And suddenly, you're off the invite list. And let's be real, that podcast jab? Not random. That was a power move. Oprah's brand is all about wisdom, influence, and staying above the mess. And right now, being tied too closely to Meghan and Harry, not exactly great for business. The LA elite is shifting. Sympathy for Meghan? It's fading. The public is tired of the same old narrative. Misunderstood duchess, media victim, royal escapee. At some point, even the best storylines go stale. And Meghan's, well, it's starting to feel a little too curated, a little too try-hard. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Meghan's inner circle is apparently in panic mode. Oprah distancing herself? That's not just bad optics, it's dangerous. Because once Oprah exits, others start slipping away too. It's like a domino effect in Hollywood. Oprah's cold shoulder is a signal. This connection isn't worth it anymore. Brutal? Yes, but very real, and Meghan knows it. Which brings us to the ducks. Yes, ducks. Remember that bizarre story? Meghan showing up at Oprah's place with a box of ducklings like it was some emergency? The media tried to spin it as a cute animal rescue. But come on, ducks? In Montecito? Please. That screamed PR stunt. It looked like a desperate attempt to create a sweet moment with Oprah, to get back in her good graces, to soften the cold shoulder. And what did Oprah do? Nothing. Not a post, not a pic, not a whisper of acknowledgement, cold as ice. Meanwhile, the internet was savage. One user said, "Oprah is for Oprah." And honestly, couldn't be more accurate. Oprah's loyalty lies with her brand, her legacy, not with Meghan's drama. If the alliance becomes a liability, it's done. Just like that. Because in Hollywood, rule number 1, protect the brand. Now let's talk about the real kicker. The deeper irony that's got everyone side-eyeing Meghan right now. She walked away from the royal family, slammed the door on palace life, called out the monarchy for racism, control, coldness, you name it. She wanted freedom, independence, a clean break. But now, she's clinging to the Sussex title like it's her last lifeline. And guess what? That title, the one she keeps trying to turn into a brand, isn't even legally meant to be used for commercial stuff. It's royalty adjacent, not trademark friendly. Still, Meghan's out here acting like Meghan Sussex is her new identity, like she's Beyonce with a one-name brand. And Oprah mocking that, saying Sussex sex? That wasn't just a dig, that was a signal, a big, loud one. Like, we see you, girl, and this is getting ridiculous. Even Mindy Kaling looked uncomfortable when Meghan dropped the whole "It's Meghan Sussex now" line on her Netflix special. You could see the moment Mindy wanted to say, what? But instead just smiled through the cringe. Because really, who does that? And it's not just about cringe, it's about the unraveling. Meghan's empire, this whole new persona she's been trying to build in Hollywood, it's wobbling. And Oprah's little roast? That might have been the nudge that pushes it off balance. Insiders are whispering. Meghan's team is scrambling behind the scenes. They know losing Oprah isn't just a social snub, it's a death sentence for the image she's spent years crafting. Because when Oprah cuts you off, others take note. Agents stop returning calls, producers quietly pass, invites vanish. It's like a quiet Hollywood quarantine. No scandal, just slow, painful isolation. And Meghan, she's feeling it. You can see it in her latest moves. The desperate clinging to relevance, the awkward stories, the forced moments. The ducks were just one stunt, the latest in a string of "look at me" PR plays that feel more desperate than daring. The thing is, Meghan's always been calculated. Every word in her interviews, every appearance, every curated photo with Harry and the kids, it's all been part of a tightly controlled machine. But Oprah's joke? She couldn't control that. She couldn't spin it in time. And for once, the vulnerability peeked through. That's why this is bigger than just a podcast moment. This is a shift, a vibe change, Hollywood's version of social exile. And Oprah's silence? That's what makes this all so brutal. Because it tells Meghan, you're not even important enough to fight with. Oof. So here we are. Meghan Markle, the woman who once shook the British monarchy to its core, now struggling to hold on to the last threads of her Hollywood dream. And the craziest part? It's not even loud. It's quiet. Too quiet. No more headlines about power moves, no more viral sit-downs, no more Oprah. Just a slow fade. You can literally feel the energy shift around her. The industry insiders aren't rushing to defend her. Old allies are turning into strangers. Even her fan base, once fiercely loyal, is starting to crack. Because here's the truth. In Hollywood, you either evolve or you disappear. And Meghan? She hasn't evolved. She's still pushing the same misunderstood Duchess narrative. The press is mean. The palace was cruel. She just wants to be heard. But how many times can you tell the same story before people stop listening? You'd think with her resources, her platform, her global name recognition, she'd be halfway to building a media empire by now. But the content? It just hasn't landed. The projects felt flat. The audience didn't connect. It's like people are waiting for her to say something new, but she's stuck on repeat. And now that the big players, like Oprah, are pulling away, the stakes are even higher. Meghan's whole strategy relied on strong alliances, power friends, big names backing her. But if that network crumbles, she's left on her own. That's why Oprah's little laugh on that podcast was so much more than a joke. It was a warning shot, a subtle but sharp reminder that the tide has turned, that Meghan's grip on the spotlight is slipping, and fast. And here's what people in the industry really don't say out loud, but they all know. Hollywood is brutal. It forgives a lot. Scandals, drama, even betrayal, but it never forgives being boring. And right now, Meghan's brand is dangerously close to boring, predictable, repetitive. She was once the mystery, the rebel royal, the one who dared to speak out. Now, she's the woman clinging to a title from a system she claimed to despise, sending gift baskets no one wants, pitching brand deals no one's buying, waiting for cameras that aren't showing up. And that, more than anything, is what makes this whole saga so tragic. Because underneath it all, beneath the speeches, the curated Instagram moments, the podcast dreams and Netflix docuseries, there's just a person, someone who clearly wants to matter, someone who needs to be seen, and someone who's watching her biggest supporters walk away one by one. Oprah didn't slam a door in Meghan's face, she didn't trash her or call her out, she did something worse. She laughed and moved on. That laugh said it all. It said, "I'm done." And Meghan, she's left standing in a space that feels colder than ever. No royals, no Hollywood safety net, no golden Oprah stamp of approval, just silence. And for someone who's built her identity around being heard, adored, and understood, that silence is deafening. So what now? That's the million-dollar question. Meghan could retreat, regroup, and come back with something truly different. Authentic, bold, new, but that means letting go of the Duchess act, the overpolished branding, and the tired storylines. It means reinventing herself for real this time. But will she? Or will she keep pushing the same narrative, hoping it still resonates? Because if she doesn't pivot soon, the headlines won't be mocking her anymore. They'll just stop coming altogether. And in a town that runs on relevance, that's the final goodbye.